Welcome back to the channel. Today we will peel back the glamorous curtain of Hollywood to explore the tough and heartbreaking battles faced by some of the biggest stars in the industry. These struggles with drug addiction are not just their personal stories, but also untold truths that many people could never imagine. From shocking falls to unbelievable comebacks, we'll explore emotional stories that have had a lasting impact not only on the entertainment world, but also on many other fields. Can these stars overcome the ghosts of their past and find themselves again? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next thrilling stories. Leave a comment with a 1 if you empathize with these stars, or a 0 if you have a different opinion. Now let's dive in and find out together. Bruno Mars, a talented singer-songwriter and record producer, has become a global music phenomenon with hit songs like Uptown Funk and Just the Way You Are. He has captivated millions of hearts around the world with his unique musical style blending pop-funk, R&B, and soul. With incredible success, Bruno has been recognized as one of the most prominent artists in modern music and has earned a spot on Forbes' list of the highest-paid artists in the world. His brilliant career has helped elevate his name and solidify his position in the international music scene. However, despite his success and fame, Bruno Mars faced a significant challenge in his career in 2010. The incident occurred on September 19th that year at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas, where police discovered him at the age of 26 in possession of cocaine. This was a shocking blow to the image of a young star with great promise. While facing serious legal issues, Bruno admitted that his actions were foolish and stupid, and he stated that it was his first time using drugs. In an effort to lighten the situation, Bruno agreed to enter into a plea deal with strict conditions. He agreed to stay out of trouble for a year in exchange for a reduced sentence. He was fined $2,000 and required to complete 200 hours of community service as part of the deal to clear his record. After the incident, in an interview, Bruno Mars admitted that he had lied about his previous drug use and explained that the incident happened because he was young and had been drinking excessively. Despite the setback in his career, Bruno Mars overcame this challenge, learned from his mistakes, and continued his brilliant music career. He demonstrated that despite facing challenges in life, the most important thing is to get back up and keep moving forward. Next is River Phoenix, a talented American actor and musician who quickly dominated Hollywood with his impressive performances and outstanding artistic talent. However, a tragic story ended his life in 1993. River's short life was cut short by a drug overdose, an unexpected outcome for such a promising young individual. Although it was claimed that he only used drugs occasionally, his ex-girlfriend Martha Plimpton believed that River's substance abuse had a profound impact on their relationship. Despite this, they remained close until his death in October 1993. Before the incident, River had finished filming in Utah and returned to Los Angeles, where he was said to have spent several days using drugs with members of his band. On the night before his death, River was believed to have mixed cocaine and heroin, a deadly combination he could not control. On that fateful night, River went to the Viper Room, a famous venue in Los Angeles, where he met his close friend Robert Forrest. River told Forrest that he felt unwell and feared that he had overdosed. However, Forrest did not take his warning seriously and failed to act in time. Shortly after, River collapsed outside the club, and his girlfriend Mattis was devastated to see him convulsing on the sidewalk. Although he was still alive when the ambulance arrived, the efforts to revive him by medical staff failed. River Phoenix, just 23 years old, was declared dead at 1:51 a.m. on October 31, 1993. The tragic death of River Phoenix was not only the loss of a great talent, but also a stark warning about the pitfalls of the showbiz life and the dangers of drugs. Despite having a bright future ahead, River became a symbol of vulnerability and tragedy, reminding us of the dark side that stars, no matter how talented, cannot escape. Another Broadway star, Britney Murphy, left a deep mark on the entertainment industry with her impressive performances in films like Clueless Freeway and as the voice in the animated film Happy Feet. She was known for her adorable appearance, acting talent, and distinctive voice. However, Britney's life came to a tragic end in late 2009 when she passed away at the age of 32. Her death quickly caused a stir in the media, as initial reports stated that she died of natural causes, but many people found that explanation unconvincing. Specifically, it was hard to believe that someone at the age of 32 could die in that way, and rumors quickly spread that Britney had used heroin and cocaine in the 2000s. Britney's sudden and abnormal weight loss raised significant concerns about her health. This further fueled suspicions that she was struggling with drug addiction. Her marriage to Simon Monjack, a man with mental and health issues, only added to the mystery surrounding Britney's life. Simon Monjack, her second husband, was known to have many personal problems, and tragically, he passed away just 5 months after Britney. The coroner's investigation revealed that several types of drugs were found next to Britney Murphy's bed, and the cause of death was determined to be an overdose. Close friends of Britney revealed that she had developed a serious drug problem after relying on painkillers to recover from several cosmetic surgeries. Although there is debate about the exact cause of her death, it is clear that Britney Murphy's life tragically ended due to addiction, a problem she could not overcome. Her death is a heartbreaking reminder of the traps that the showbiz life can bring and the invisible wounds that not everyone can see. She claimed to have endured the same drug regimen that she had done at MGM Mickey, however denied all allegations of MGM providing drugs, leaving the truth uncertain as both he and Judy had passed away. Mickey died of a heart attack on a Sunday, but before his death, his estranged son, Chris Aber, publicly described him as a violent husband with a dangerous sleeping pill addiction. Chris claimed that Mickey's addiction led to violent mood swings and an abusive life for his 8th wife. Despite his public image as a charismatic character from Hollywood's golden age, in his old age, Mickey was described as an angry and stubborn man. Behind the scenes, according to sources, Mickey regularly abused his wife, bending her fingers, yelling in her ears, and pinching her. His battle with addiction only worsened his behavior. Chris claimed that Mickey's weekly drug collection required a shopping bag due to the large quantity of drugs he needed to use. David O. Selznick, the producer behind one of Hollywood's most iconic films, Gone with the Wind, despite his success, exhibited unappealing behavior behind the scenes. He was known for bullying behavior due to his drug use and his obsession with the appearance of actresses, making the lives of many on set difficult. Gone with the Wind broke numerous records and won 10 Academy Awards, but the production process was driven by Selznick's relentless determination. Selznick was believed to be addicted to benzodine, a drug he used to maintain energy during long hours of shooting. His dependence on this drug became infamous, with reports that he would crush the pills and lick the pieces from his palm to sustain energy during the exhausting production. While Gone with the Wind achieved unprecedented success, the darker side of the production reflected the impact that Selznick's drug use had on both himself and those working with him. Pop princess Britney Spears truly revived the teen pop wave in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Her career took off dramatically, and Britney quickly became one of the most influential pop stars of her generation. With iconic hits like Baby One More Time and Toxic, she dominated the music charts and became a global cultural icon. However, behind the glamour and allure, there was a story full of turmoil. Britney faced deep struggles related to drug addiction and mental health issues. Things began to change in 2006 when her highly publicized divorce from her husband, Kevin Federline, rocked Britney's life. The breakup came as a huge shock to her, followed by many troubling events. During this chaotic period, revelations about her drug abuse and erratic behavior became the subject of media gossip. Britney's life began spiraling downward as she faced a mental breakdown and was hospitalized multiple times. This downward spiral led to multiple stints in rehab, but her situation did not improve. Along with the reports of her erratic behavior, reports also emerged about a suicide attempt Britney had made, along with a painful declaration that she felt like the Antichrist. These were some of the darkest moments of her life, when she felt desperate and isolated in a world that once admired her. However, fortunately, Britney eventually received the help she needed. After being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, she entered an intensive rehab program and began the process of recovery. With support from professionals and her family, Britney gradually regained balance and began rebuilding her life. Her recovery process was not easy, but with determination and commitment, she regained control of her life and career. Today, Britney is not only a music icon, but also an inspiration for those battling addiction and mental health issues. She has proven that despite going through life's storms, strength and determination can help anyone overcome challenges and find the light again. Daniel Baldwin is the second oldest of the Baldwin brothers. Despite his fame, Baldwin struggled with severe addiction. In 1998, he became the center of attention when he was found running naked through the halls of the Plaza Hotel in New York, shouting his family name, and was arrested for cocaine possession. He later pled guilty to the disorderly conduct charge and was sentenced to 3 months of drug rehab. Baldwin revealed that his battle with cocaine addiction began in 1989. In 1989, the same year he landed his first acting job at the age of 29, Daniel Baldwin became addicted to drugs, and it took over his life. Unlike other addicts, Baldwin didn't drink heavily, take pills, or smoke, but cocaine gripped him so tightly that he had to enter rehab 9 times before finally overcoming his addiction. Today, Daniel Baldwin has turned his life around. He is not only a famous actor, but also a drug addiction counselor, using his experience to help others who are struggling with addiction. Jodie Sweetin, the American actress, best known for her role as Stephanie Tanner in the famous sitcom Full House, has had a life full of challenges and struggles after the show ended. Despite being a bright young star with an innocent and sweet image on screen, Sweetin's reality was far from easy. She started drinking at just 14 years old, and for the next 13 years she struggled with substance abuse. Sweetin used a variety of substances, including ecstasy, methamphetamine, and crack cocaine, which led her into a downward spiral of addiction. In 2009, she had a major turning point in her life when she published her memoir Unsweetened, in which she openly shared the battles she had fought with addiction. The book was a heartfelt and emotional account of the difficult years following the end of Full House, a period when she felt trapped in a whirlwind of bad habits. She recounted painful moments such as speaking in front of a crowd at Marquette University in Wisconsin, while still emotionally affected after a 2-day drinking binge. These moments serve as evidence of the breakdowns she faced during those years of turmoil. Despite the harsh struggles and the many things she lost, Sweetin ultimately regained her sobriety in December 2008. However, her road to recovery was not easy. In 2013, after experiencing a personal setback with a breakup, Sweetin faced new challenges. But instead of falling back into old habits, she decided to rebuild her life. She began working at a drug rehab center in Los Angeles as a clinical logistics coordinator, where she could support others dealing with similar issues she had faced. Additionally, she earned a degree in drug and alcohol counseling, allowing her to become a source of inspiration and support for those in need of help in their battle against addiction. Jodie Sweetin's life is an inspiring story of perseverance and transformation. Despite facing the storms of life, she stood up and became a role model for overcoming failure, proving that with determination and the right support, anyone can find their way back to the path of success. Drew Barrymore's childhood can be seen as a clear example of the harsh realities of Hollywood, a world where child stars are not always protected from the temptations and pressures around them. Drew made her debut at the age of 7 in the film E.T. the Extraterrestrial and instantly became a rising star. However, behind that fame was a life far from glamorous. Born into a famous family with its own set of issues, Drew was not allowed the peaceful childhood that most other children experience. At just 11 months old, Drew appeared in a dog food commercial marking the beginning of a career in acting that she would not be able to escape from for many years to come. Even as a young child, Drew had to face the negative aspects of show business. She was drawn into a world full of temptations, starting with being immersed in Bailey's alcohol at just 7 years old, while other children were still carefree. Although she was just a little girl, Drew began struggling with alcohol addiction at the age of 11, and by 12 she was dealing with drug addiction. These challenges led to a life of turmoil and great emotional pain. At the age of 13, Drew made an attempt to take her own life, a tragic act, reflecting the deeply disturbed and hopeless mental state she was in. After this incident, Drew was hospitalized and had to face a difficult path to recovery. After her parents divorced when Drew was only 9 years old, her mother exposed her to the wild, party-filled world of Hollywood. She was taken to Studio 54, a club known for its hedonistic and indulgent lifestyle, where she was forced to witness and partake in parties that were not suitable for a child her age. All of these factors pushed Drew into a lifestyle that was far too intense for someone her age. To survive in this world, Drew felt she had to protect herself, even freeing herself from her parents' control. At the age of 14, she decided to clean bathrooms at a club just to have some freedom and space to herself. Despite facing multiple relapses and challenges with support from close friends like Cameron Diaz, Drew gradually overcame the demons of her past. She started rebuilding her life, not only recovering mentally, but also reviving her career and personal life. Today, Drew has found success and peace in her life, moving beyond the chaos that once haunted her. She has become a symbol of resilience and transformation, proving that despite coming from a past full of pain and struggles, anyone can rise again, reinvent themselves, and move toward brighter days. Judy Garland, the legendary star of The Wizard of Oz, was born Frances Ethel Gum on June 19, 1922, and became internationally famous from a young age. Behind the scenes, Judy's life was far from glamorous. Signed by MGM as a teenager, she faced immense pressure that affected her physical and mental health. As she moved to Hollywood, Judy had to deal with many challenges and mistreatment throughout her career. The growing challenges led Judy Garland to be placed on a strict diet and given amphetamines, with her weight being closely monitored. Even before playing Dorothy at the age of 17, Judy had been struggling with drug addiction. She later revealed that studio directors frequently gave her and Mickey Rooney drugs to keep working, until exhaustion followed by sedatives to sleep. How do you think the pressures of Hollywood affected her career and life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss more fascinating stories about Hollywood legends. As the most famous and hardest-working star at MGM, Judy eventually became a full-fledged addict, suffering from numerous nervous breakdowns. Tragically, she died from a drug overdose at the age of 47 in June 1969, marking the end of a life full of extraordinary talent but immense suffering. Jeff Conaway, best known for his role as Kiki in the film Grease, was a man who struggled with addiction throughout his life. This battle ultimately led to it on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, where he openly discussed his addictions to alcohol, cocaine, and painkillers. Although Conaway became aware of his addiction problems in the mid-1980s and sought treatment, the challenges he faced never fully disappeared. Throughout this journey, he continued to battle with himself and his life, with his career and reputation severely affected by his destructive habits. On Celebrity Rehab, it was also revealed that Conaway was in a codependent relationship with his girlfriend, who was addicted to prescription opioids. This made his addiction even more complicated, as their codependency only intensified the suffering he experienced over the years. A significant factor that worsened Conaway's addiction was a back injury he sustained during his time working on Grease. The chronic pain from this injury forced him to rely more and more on substances to manage the pain. Despite undergoing several surgeries and claiming improvement in a 2009 interview, his battle with addiction never ended. On May 11, 2011, tragedy struck when Conaway was found unconscious, reportedly from an overdose of painkillers. Despite efforts to revive him, Conaway, who had once been a rising star, passed away at the age of 60. His death is a painful reminder of the destructive power of addiction. While he had significant achievements in his career, the storms of his personal life ultimately took his life, leaving fans with deep regret and sorrow. Marilyn Monroe, the iconic star of Hollywood's golden age, holds the 7th spot on our list. Known for her captivating performances and tumultuous private life, Monroe was adored by millions, but behind the allure, she struggled with depression, substance abuse, and possibly bipolar disorder. As Monroe aged, her mental health deteriorated, and she began to forget her lines, spiraling into despair and delusions, increasingly relying on alcohol and drugs. In 1962, her psychiatrist found her dead at her Brentwood home. The coroner concluded that her death was due to an overdose of barbiturates. Marilyn Monroe, one of Hollywood's most iconic and captivating cultural figures, led a life that was equally tragic, despite possessing the talent and beauty that made the entire world admire her. Her life, filled with great successes and shining moments on screen, was far from easy. Her tragic death in 1962 from a drug overdose stands as one of the clearest examples of the suffering she endured throughout her life. While widely known for her allure and achievements in her career, Marilyn Monroe constantly fought an invisible battle won with herself and the emotional pain she could not share. After her death, Monroe's poems, letters, and personal journal entries were released, revealing a deep and hidden side of the life of a legend. These writings disclosed a Marilyn Monroe that was entirely different from the image the public knew. She was not only a symbol of beauty, but also a woman filled with loneliness, insecurity, and sleepless nights. Her inner struggles were magnified by the intense scrutiny of the public who never stopped analyzing her every step and every glance. Even her privacy was not protected when nude photographs of her were released without permission, causing deep hurt to a woman who had always lived in the spotlight. Marilyn Monroe's words during her moments of loneliness were truly heartbreaking, as she felt isolated even when surrounded by crowds. Despite her fame and status as a beauty icon, she could never escape the feeling of being lost, as if her life was nothing but an endless performance. Monroe lived in invisible pain, a testament to the truth that behind the glamorous exterior, not everyone can hide the wounds within. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, shocked the world when he was found dead at 42 in his Graceland mansion's bathroom. The star, once famous for his iconic hip-shaking moves, had become a bloated shadow of his former self. Toxicology reports revealed that the cause of death was a deadly mix of drugs, including Doloded, Percodan, Demerol, codeine, and Quaaludes. His personal doctor, Dr. George Neopoulos, or Dr. Nick, had treated Elvis for years initially for back pain. However, this treatment led to a full-blown opioid addiction. Dr. Nick admitted to prescribing thousands of addictive pills for Elvis and often tried to substitute them with fake drugs, but ultimately gave in to his requests. Ironically, Elvis, who once received a special badge from President Nixon for his anti-drug stance, died from an overdose, highlighting the tragic power of addiction. Mischa Barton, an actress known for her standout roles in films like 12 Dreams of James Lapine and the long-running TV series All My Children, has faced a fierce battle with drug abuse. Her story may be far more complicated than people think, as she became caught in a spiraling world of drugs that seemed impossible to escape. Despite being a rising star, behind her public image were internal struggles that few knew about. Sources revealed that Mischa had attempted to obtain various drugs, such as Adderall, Xanax, and Noros, and even mentioned a cocaine dealer she knew well. These were clear signs that she was being pulled into the grip of addiction. One of the most concerning moments in her life occurred on her 31st birthday. During this time, she was found in a very alarming state, standing on a fence in the backyard of her house in West Hollywood, screaming about the apocalypse. Neighbors immediately called the police, and Mischa was hospitalized and had to stay overnight. After being released, Mischa claimed that her drink had been spiked with GHB, a date rape drug, while she attended a birthday party. This event raised many questions about what was really going on in Mischa's life, a famous actress who faced many personal challenges. Her actions and condition clearly show the immense strain and difficulty she endured in her life. Mischa, once known for her beauty and promising career, had to struggle with deep issues that not everyone recognized. However, she continues her journey seeking healing and recovery from the wounds she has faced. Mary Kate Olsen. One half of the famous Olsen twins charmed audiences with her role as Michelle Tanner on Full House. However, behind the scenes, she faced serious struggles, particularly with body image issues. She fell into unhealthy habits like drinking and smoking, leading to a serious battle with anorexia. Things worsened during high school as Mary-Kate started attending parties where drugs like marijuana and cocaine were easily accessible, leading to addiction from a young age. Rumors quickly spread about her condition. Mary-Kate Olsen's life changed dramatically, especially after her boyfriend Heath Ledger tragically passed away from a drug overdose. Mary-Kate was reportedly the first person contacted after his death and sought legal immunity regarding the drugs involved. Later, Mary-Kate entered a 6-week rehab program to address her anorexia alongside whispers of drug treatment. Fortunately, since then, she has turned her life around, now living in sobriety and overcoming those dark days. Haim, the captivating star of The Lost Boys, was a Canadian actor who found fame alongside his close friend Corey Feldman. While audiences admired his on-screen performances, few knew about the deep personal struggles he faced. His battle with addiction began in his teenage years, and as his career rose, so did his struggle with substance abuse. Haim himself admitted that the pressures of filming and driving led him deeper into addiction. Although he claimed to have overcome his troubles after a family vacation in 1989, his journey was far from over. By 2001, he had been to rehab centers 15 times. His relentless struggle with prescription drug dependence was heartbreaking, as Haim was never able to fully overcome his addiction. In the final 32 days of his life, he illegally purchased over 553 prescription pills, highlighting the depth of his ongoing struggle. Although drugs were not the direct cause of his death at the age of 38, his story serves as a poignant reminder of the hidden battles faced behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Joanna Moore, once the golden girl of Hollywood and the first wife of Ryan O'Neal, witnessed her life take a tragic turn. Born Dorothy Joan Nuttall. Joanna starred in over 17 feature films and made guest appearances in more than 100 TV episodes before falling into addiction in the 1970s. She sought help but was arrested for driving under the influence. Less than a year later, she lost custody of her children. In 1963, Joanna married her third husband, Ryan O'Neal, and had 2 children, Tatum and Griffin. While Ryan's career flourished, Joanna spiraled, becoming more depressed after their divorce. Sedatives and alcohol took over her life. Joanna moved her family to a dilapidated farm in an attempt to care for troubled teens, but her daughter Tatum later described the environment as chaotic and abusive, with rampant drug use and neglect. Joanna's life continued to decline, and her smoking eventually led to her death from lung cancer in 1997. Ryan O'Neal, the American actor best known for his roles in Peyton Place and the iconic film Love Story, first attracted public attention with his talent and charm. However, his personal life has been much more controversial, marked by addiction and violent outbursts that overshadowed his success in Hollywood. The accusations against Ryan were not only of a career in decline, but also of a personal life in shambles. The story of Ryan O'Neal, one of Hollywood's most talented yet tragic stars, is a prime example of the mix of success and decline. What is particularly concerning is that Ryan O'Neal was accused of shooting his son Griffin and introducing him to cocaine at the age of 11. This decision, which Griffin later stated ruined his life beyond repair, is one of the darkest aspects of Ryan's personal life. Such behavior, especially involving family members, contributed to the reputation of the O'Neill family, which is considered one of the most unstable families in Hollywood. Nearly every member of the family has struggled with severe substance abuse issues and tumultuous personal lives. Despite making significant contributions to the film and television industry, Ryan O'Neill couldn't escape the turbulence in his personal life. Stories of violent outbursts and abusive behavior within his family became an inseparable part of his story. While he had once been a prominent and successful actor, his personal struggles and the chaos in his family overshadowed everything. On December 8, 2023, Ryan's tumultuous life came to an end, leaving behind a legacy that was both brilliant and painful. Despite his significant contributions to cinema, the suffering he caused within his own family remains an unavoidable part of his life story. The King of Pop. Michael Jackson, recognized as one of the greatest cultural icons of the 20th century, faced a long and painful struggle throughout the last 15 years of his life. Rumors suggest that to fuel his drug addiction, Jackson used up to 19 different fake IDs during this time, allowing him access to addictive substances he could not control. His struggle began after a Pepsi commercial accident in 1984, when he suffered severe burns during a shoot, leading doctors to prescribe opioids to manage his pain. This was the first turning point that led to his addiction to drugs. Jackson later admitted that the incident marked the beginning of a long period of dependency on medication. In 1993, as his addiction worsened, Michael Jackson decided to enter rehab to begin his recovery process. He joined a 12-step addiction treatment program to help him quit using substances. However, despite these efforts, Jackson could not escape his dependency on drugs and harmful medications. His close friends and family tried to intervene and help him, but Jackson largely denied his addiction and rejected the support from those around him. His downward spiral ultimately led to the tragic death of Michael Jackson in 2009 at the age of just 50. The cause of death was determined to be cardiac arrest, which in fact was the result of a combination of sedatives and propofol, a powerful anesthetic that his personal doctor had prescribed to treat his long-standing insomnia. Jackson's doctor was later charged with involuntary manslaughter for prescribing and managing the medication for his patient. However, despite all efforts, Jackson's death remains an irreplaceable loss and a heartbreaking reminder of the destructive power of addiction and the lack of control in medication use. Macaulay Culkin, the iconic child star of Home Alone, has gone through a challenging and troubled path due to his early fame. He was known for his role as the smart and lovable boy who captured the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. However, despite achieving massive success at a young age, Culkin's personal life was filled with turmoil. He described his father as cruel and violent, which had a significant impact on his mental and emotional well-being throughout his formative years. After his parents divorced, Culkin took legal action at the age of 15 to prevent them from controlling his $20 million trust fund. His decision gained major media attention, with reports suggesting that Culkin had divorced his parents. His life became increasingly complicated, especially as he had to deal with the intense public scrutiny and pressure from being in the limelight. Culkin's decline was heartbreaking for fans as they witnessed the change in his image. In 2004, at the age of 24, he made headlines when he was arrested in Oklahoma for possession of marijuana and 2 controlled substances without a prescription. Following the incident, he was briefly jailed and later released on a $4,000 bail. Rumors about his drug habits continued, and in 2012, photos of a gaunt Culkin holding an energy drink raised concerns about his health. Despite struggling through many dark periods in his life, Culkin ultimately found a way to turn things around and move toward a better life. He found love with fellow child star Brenda Song, who supported him immensely on his journey to recovery and rebuilding his life. His angelic image from Home Alone resurfaced during each Christmas season, serving as a reminder to fans of the boy who once captured the hearts of the world. Macaulay Culkin's story is a testament to strength and determination in overcoming life's challenges. Despite facing numerous struggles, he stood up and found himself again, proving that anyone can rebuild their life with enough willpower and the right support. Thank you for following the inspiring story of Macaulay Culkin. His life is a testament to the power of resilience and determination. Despite facing numerous challenges, he has risen above them and rediscovered himself, proving that nothing is impossible when we have the right support and determination. Do you admire Macaulay's resilience? Leave a comment with a 1 if you relate to the stories of these stars, or a 0 if you have a different opinion. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next exciting videos. Thank you and see you in the next videos.